Hello everybody. Sorry I've been missing in action for a little bit. It's partially it's from various professional and personal reasons, but in the coming months and weeks, I'm gonna try to catch up and increase the amount of tutorials that I'm posting here and touch on a bunch of stuff. But I'm gonna to start with a bang. Um, this is a technique that I have no idea what it's called. As far as I'm concerned, I invented it. I'm sure there's a million other people that use it. I don't necessarily know the name for it because, as I mentioned before, I'm self-taught, and most of my techniques come from experimentation rather than from picking them up from something. Unless I was looking for a solution for a very specific thing, and I would like YouTube, find on YouTube one specific thing is like how to get rid of a red pimple. Well, a lot of the stuff I've kind of developed myself just messing around with Photoshop, which is my way of learning. So this is a separation of tonal information versus color information in Photoshop. So the way I usually achieve that is by just opening the file in Photoshop. And here it is. And I'm just going to create a copy of the background layer. Duplicate layer, and I'm gonna change that one to mode of it. I'm gonna rename it to color, and as you can see, I changed the mode of it to color. And unless I do something else, it doesn't. There is no changes. You don't see really anything happening here at all, right? Because this is just the same color information that is below repeated on top. However, if you create separate things, specifically a black and white adjustment layer here. There it is. So now you can see I turned the image underneath it black and white, but without any real changes yet. So there's really no changes yet. But that allows me to interesting creative control. Now I can change the tonalities of the image without messing with the color at all. For example, if I decide to make reds lighter, just reds, I just use this black and white slider until I make lighter. If I want them to be darker, I make them darker. So for example, if I wanted to give Kalisa, who is the wonderful model in this picture, really, red lips, I could adjust the lips to my liking, just like this, in this layer. I would rename this, convert this into lips. And then I could mask out everything else and just paint it. So now, as you can see, I masked the change, and I can go to white brush and paint just that, just onto the lips. Good, higher opacity. There we go. And so now through this black and white thing, I gave you like really thick red lips. So kind of applied makeup. Option 2, for example, I say wanted, I can do another one. I'll just add another black and white layer. It will affect the underlying information in a little bit, the reds, but so as you can see, so basically all skin imperfections are going to be either yellow, orange, or red. So highlighting them and adjusting the yellow and red to each other kind of smooths out the skin a little bit. Do you see how if I'm making it darker, the imperfections become really pronounced, while I'm making it lighter, it becomes less pronounced. Like this. The skin is really smoothed out. Right? I'm actually going to switch off the lips thing just to keep it. But you can see that this is this is compared to original. The skin is a little bit smooth and a little more glowy. And let's think that that's exactly what I would want for her skin. What I would do once again is I would mask out this whole thing, and then I would paint with white just on her skin. Say with 20% flow. But just on her skin, because I wouldn't want it to influence her eyes or her anything. It's very subtle, but it's very apparent and present. Alright, now we can combine it with red lips, just to show you what changes can be made. And that is not over either. Now we can say adjust her eyes. Let's say I wanted, so I'm gonna create another black and white layer, and we're gonna adjust her eyes any way we want. So let's adjust the blueness of her eyes. I want it to be lighter. And I'm really, you guys, you can see I obviously can also change the color of her hair very easily. Turn her into a blonde. Actually, that's just sounded like fun. Let's turn her into a blonde while we're at it. So this is white hair. Instead of messing with the eyes, we'll just turn her blonde. Once again, I just go to the thing, fill it with black. So, and then with a white color and say at 20% flow, I'm just gonna start painting right here. Basically removing the color information from her hair, but not the rest of her. Not the rest of her. And so now she's kind of like this ash blonde hair instead of the wonderful brown hair that she has. I can either mask the rest, or maybe if I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? This is just, the lips are way too red. So I just go back to lips, and I just adjust the opacity of that layer, of the whole layer, until I'm satisfied with the opacity. Here we go. So this is a really weird version. I really didn't try to make it look very natural. This is just to show you the power of this method. And as long as you just recombine, and use masking very liberally and the opacity very liberally, you should be golden. Alright, hope you find this useful. Thank you.